Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Decryption and I hope you are well. In the last two parts of this mini-series, we made this door here that can efficiently load and unload interiors to give you huge performance boosts. We then expanded this functionality to change levels, so as you go through a door, it will go and open a brand new level, even spawning you at the correct place when you go through in and out of the doorway. However, in the final part of this series, what we're going to do is modify it so if we have a system where there's multiple doors, then the doors can open correctly at the same time, so they're not toggling areas when they both either need to open or close. And oh wait, what's that? It's today's sponsor, Lemmy. If you're feeling overwhelmed by technology, want to grow your business in the digital world, or just need general IT advice, then check out Lemmy. They offer personalised consultations, creative design, and tailored digital solutions to help you thrive. With a free consultation, you have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. So let them bring your digital challenges to life. Visit them at lemmyu.com to get started now. So in the previous tutorial, I did also say that we were going to look at handling double doors for the data layer system. So what I'm going to do is come and grab this door. I'll just create a quick copy of it. What house is this? This is the house building 2. I'll open this one and I'll call it Elven 3. But I'm also going to call it door 1 because we've got double doors. So I'll open this one up and I'll close the rest of this down. We don't need it. I'll get this door here and I'll just assign it to the new door. So open full blueprint editor. Door mesh will be that one. I'll come and duplicate this blueprint and I'll add a door 2 and I'll open this one up. I'll put the secondary door on, so I'll assign the static mesh that way and I'll compile. Then I will come in here, I will replace this one with our door 2, which I have not got selected, so I'll make sure it's selected in the content drawer. Right click this door, replace selected actors with door 2. That's now a blueprint. I'll rotate it so it's closed by default. There we go. And then I'll do the same for this one. So I'll select this door in the content drawer. Back in here, I will right click on it, place selected actors with door 1, and then I can rotate it around like so. So now we should be able to, in theory, open these two doors. So let's just test that before we continue on with the double doors. So I'll play from here. And now if we come to this door, we can successfully open it. But as you can see, we want... Oh, that one's opening backwards. We want this door to successfully open both doors at the same time and, rotate the right way. So how do we link them together? So I'm actually going to modify some of the code a little bit just to make it work this way. But first, I'm just going to solve the door open rotation. So the door open rotation is that way. So I'm going to copy the rotation and I'm just going to paste it over there. It's basically 90. So the door 1 open is 90 degrees. The other one is the other 90 degrees. So both of these doors need to be linked together. So on our BPA door, what I'm going to do is add a object reference to linked doors. Now, if you ever think you're going to have more than one door linked together, then set this as an array. I'm just going to stick with a singular one because I can't imagine I'm ever going to link 3 doors to all open at the same time. You very well might need to though, but I am going to set it to a type of BPA door. I'll also set it as a soft object reference like that. We can compile and save. I'll make sure that I have made instance editable. So on these two doors here, I'm going to just temporarily remove the data layer because we don't want that part. And then on the linked doors, on the first one, I'm going to select the second one. And on the second one, I'm just going to select the first one. So now we have a link between these two doors. So when we call open on one, at the same time we need to call open on the other one. But we need to tell it that we're only soft opening it. All of the logic is handled by the other door. So back on our BPA door here, when we come into open door here, it's going to come off and it's either going to go to the map change or it's going to go to the data layer. Now if we go into the map change, we don't really need to worry about the other door at all. So it's only the load data layer that we need to actually work with it. And then even on here, we don't want it running the data layer setup process here because the other door that we're currently interacting with is going to handle that. So both of these call play door open when it's finalized and it's opening the door. So what we're going to do is before we call play on this timeline, I'm going to drag this across to give us a bit of space and we can keep this one down here. Just at the start of play door open, I'm going to drag our linked doors in. I'm going to check if it's a valid soft object reference. So is something assigned there? If it is, if it's true, then we can drag this off over here and we can do async load asset. So if the asset for some reason isn't loaded in memory, even though it's right next to it, it will try to load it. And then from here, we can resolve it. And then from here, we can simply call play door open. The keen-eyed of you may notice that if we call play door open on the linked doors, that's going to go to the other door, play door linked open, and get the linked door, and it's going to create an infinite loop, and we don't want that. So instead, on this play door open, I'm going to add an input, open linked doors as a boolean. Only if this is true, I'll add an and the linked door value is valid, then we will process the other doors. But the open linked doors, when we call it from the other one, will be false. But the ones where we call it up here, so there and there, we will tell it to also open linked doors. And that's pretty much all we have to do. So if I drag this across now, make a bit of space, make it neat. And then on the false, we'll also tell it to just go to the play. So what I'll do instead is I'll drag this off and just tap the R key to add a loop like so. So it's a bit neater. So it will come in. Should we open linked doors? Well, yes, we should, because this is the first time we're calling it. So in which case, it's going to go to the true. It's going to check, have we got any linked doors? Well, yes, we do. So load that linked asset, then call play, open on that one, and then play the timeline for both. Otherwise, whether we're coming from an existing door or it's not a valid reference, in which case, both times, it will simply call open door. And that's really it. So if we play from here now, if we open one of these doors, either way, it should open the other one. We still need to make it close properly. So if you close one, it closes both. So if I come in and open that one, it's took us to a map for some reason. Ah, yes. So if we don't assign a data layer or a map, it basically freaks out and doesn't know what to do. So we will tell it to simply just load that data layer for now. So let's play it one more time. And now you'll see if we come over here and open this door, both doors open. How cool is that? However, we can still close individual ones, but if we open either one, oh, that one freaked out then. So that door is freaking out for some reason when we call it. And my guess is because we're not calling door state change, which is caching the starting rotation. So the reason the door was freaking out was because door state change wasn't being called and it needs to play the sound and deactivate it. That is something I prefer to do both times, to be fair. So what I'm actually going to do is just copy this door state change, and back down here where we call play door open, I'm just going to make some space like so. And then directly off of this target, I'm simply going to call door state change like so. The sound it wants is going to be the sound for opening that specific door, so I can also get that by calling get door open sound, and we can plug this in here. I will reverse this just before we finalize it, because otherwise it won't have the rotation before it needs to, like so. But now, when we tell a linked door to open, it should successfully tell it to register its sound, play the sound of it opening, register the rotation, and then tell it to open without looping to other doors. So we should hear 2 doors opening this time, and it should cache the rotation. So now, if we run up and get out of crouching mode, if we open the door, 2 doors open and 1 door closes. But if we open both of them now from the other side, they open properly like so. How cool is that, ladies and gentlemen? We need to make it so they both close at the same time. So, just like we've done here on the closed door part, so we're going to come and copy this little bit here where we're checking if it's a valid reference and such like that, loading the asset and calling door state change. We'll come down here and paste it here. We need to check if we're allowed to open linked doors, so we'll do that in a minute, but we need to update the interface for that. Simply from the door state change of the closed into the branch, instead of calling door state change, because we don't actually need to now, because the closed door will do it for us, we can simply drag off of this and tell it to close door using our BPI door interface, and then we can plug that into here like so. So this one is a little bit easier to do. So now that we've got all this loaded up and it'll close the door, all we need to do is tell it to stop looping. So I'm going to go to my BPI door interface, and inside the closed door, I will just add an input just like we did before, like we did open linked doors, compile that one and save. By default, we want it to be true, so I'll connect it into there, and I'll call it close linked doors. So just on here, I will add a default value of true as well, just so by default it does it. By default, we want it to be true, so I'll link this across to the and there. And that should be it, ladies and gentlemen. And there we go. So if we come and it'll play the door's opening sound, either go to the map or it'll go to the data layer. If it goes to the data layer, it will load it into memory, then it'll tell the door to open. It will check if it's got a linked door, it will open both. If you do have multiple doors, just set that to a for each loop. It'll play the timeline and run everything it needs. If we close the door, then it will check if we've got a linked door. It will close that as well as calling the door state change, and then it will run the door animation. Oh, I've just got a bit backwards. Just make sure this is unticked. We don't want to close it if it's already closed. And now you'll see if we start the game, we should now successfully be able to open both doors and close both doors because they are linked together. So we can open the door and we can close the doors. Boom. Everything works as it should. How cool is that, ladies and gentlemen? It took a little bit longer than simply telling the other door to open and close. That's solely because we don't want both doors trying to trigger opening the data layer and the map at the same time. We only need one of them to do so. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There is our door system optimization tool. We can now jump between maps, we can jump between data layers, we can efficiently make our game work. It is getting closer to becoming a real game. We have a big announcement coming on the channel soon for this game and other cool things, so subscribe to see that. If you've enjoyed this tutorial, I know it's been long, but it is absolutely so worth it. We can optimize the entire game. Please consider leaving a like and maybe subscribing if you do. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this helped. If you want to see any of the videos early, please consider subscribing to the Patreon because I do release the videos sometimes a week early if I'm running late, sometimes 6-7 weeks if I've got a nice bulk recording session going on. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Decryption and I will see you next time.